What is the climate action plan?
Well, thanks for asking, Gwen. The Climate Action Plan is sort of like a roadmap. You know, when you want to get somewhere, you have to kind of understand the path to get there. Mm-hmm. The Climate Action Plan is like a pathway to a brighter and stronger and more sustainable future for all of us.
Like without methane and all that bad stuff?
Exactly. We want to reduce methane and other things that make it harder for our air to be clean.
Okay, I don't want to live in a place where it's too hot and we have no seasons.
We think that if we don't take action through something like our Climate Action Plan, that we could end up with a lot more hot days in the summer and or more extreme weather events like we've kind of seen recently that make it bitter cold.
Below zero?
Yes. Do you like it when it's below zero?
No, it's too cold. Yeah, it's too cold.
That one? Do you like helping the climate, and why? I do like helping the climate because when you help the climate, when you try to help slow down the really fast pace of climate change, you help people and you help protect the world, make it a better place for you as you grow up and for the people who come next. And it's something that we can all do together, and it matters. It matters a lot. It's a way of taking care of each other and the earth so that we all have enough water and we have clean air to breathe and we are protected from storms and we're strong and smart. And that's what I like about it. It's important work, and I'm really glad you guys care about it.
How will you help your plant?
How will I help the planet? Yeah. Well, one of the goals of our Climate Action Plan is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions because that helps them prevent, the extreme weather that Nebraskans might face. We think we might have hotter days in the summer and more wet springs and bigger snow events in the winter like we just had. Did you see all that snow we just had? Yeah, that was good for snowmen, but not so good for a lot of other things. And so some of the ways that we can try to slow that climate change pace down and protect each other is to turn off the lights to reduce our demand for electricity that burns fossil fuels. That's a really easy way to do it. It's something everyone can do. We can try to organize our day in ways that reduces how much electricity or fossil fuel we consume. So if you're out running errands on the weekend with your parents, you can plan your trip so you take the shortest time to do all those things, that you're not going in circles and running back and forth. Trying to be efficient with errands is one way. I don't know if you have a garden. Do any of you have a garden?
Yeah.
The more food that we grow or purchase that's been grown locally, that helps too. There's a lot of ways we can all participate, and I'm glad that you guys are learning about them, because as you learn more about it, I hope you'll tell your friends and your family and spread the word.
Do you think climate change may hurt us mentally?
Well, I think that because it's such a big problem and no one person can solve it, I think we all feel a little bit anxious about being able to make a difference. But it's really important to recognize that each one of us can make a difference. But I know that causes a lot of stress and fear. But when you think about what we're going through now with the pandemic, everywhere around the world, everyone's dealing with masks and the coronavirus and trying to stay safe and trying to wash hands and do the right things to protect one another. It's actually inspiring to think that, okay, we can all do things as a planet. Every person on the planet can actually take steps to fight things that threaten us. And climate change threatens our quality of life and our way of living. So we know we can do it. We just have to keep focused on how each of us can play a part and not forget how important it is in between the storms. It's easy to remember when the floods are happening or when the snowfall is happening, but climate change is something we have to work to address every day and be intentional in our choices. And then that's all we can do. We do what we can control. We can worry only about the things that we can control, and if we're all doing our part, we know we are making a difference. Do you think it's affecting people mentally?
Yes, I think that because of climate change and how hot it's getting sometimes, people might be overheating.
Oh, yes.
And may hurting their brain sometimes during the overheat.
Yeah. There are real physical and mental impacts from the extreme weather events and how prepared we are to deal with them. Like you said, the heat or in the severe cold, people, they don't have good shelter or the right kind of insulation in their housing, and they can suffer. So our climate action plan is trying to help people understand strategies to protect themselves and our community so they can be stronger in the face of severe weather events and take steps to prevent them from becoming more common. So thanks for being a climate champion.
How do you think climate change is affecting animals?
And what's your favorite animal?
Marcus, you have to wait, okay? You say that after she's done answering. How do you think climate change is affecting animals?
Well, we all share the earth, so it's going to affect all of us, right? Animals or people. And for some animals, it's probably causing them to try to shift where they live. They kind of need to migrate to different climates if it's getting too hot or too cold for what they're used to. That's one way. And in some cases, they may be having more disease that they're exposed to, depending on the temperatures and the way that their environment has shifted. So they have the potential to get sick from increased disease. And in some cases, like in the Arctic, where the ice is melting, it can be harder for them to have a place to call home and an ability to find food. So it can be very difficult to even survive. So climate change is one way that we can help animals and ecosystems along with other people.
What's your favorite animal?
What is your favorite animal?
That's a hard one, right? Because there's so many fun ones. I like dolphins. I think that's my favorite animal.
That's my mom's favorite
so
animal.
cute.
That's my mom's favorite animal.
It is. They always look like they're smiling, and they are smart, and they're playful. They're really fun. What's your favorite animal?
A fox.
A fox. Do you ever see foxes around Lincoln?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
They've been having fun. They've been around a lot this past year. They've been running around. I've seen a lot of them on the trails. What about you? What's your favorite animal?
Cats, dogs, and hamsters. Well, the reason why I like cats and hamsters is because they're cute.
You probably know, since you care about pets, that when we take care of the earth, we're also helping not just people, but other creatures that live with us, pets and other animals. So we help a lot of things have a better quality of life when we take care of the climate.
How will you help us get local food?
Well, one of the ways that the city helps is the city helps to support community gardens. So there are some parks where there are community gardens or blocks of land in the city, and those are places where you can sign up, like with a group called Community Crops, and go and have a patch of ground where you can grow things if you don't have space in your backyard. And another way that we're looking at land that maybe could be really well used as some small commercial farming in our city. And so we're actively trying to pursue that right now. And then, I would just encourage you to go to farmers markets with your families, and when it's time and when it's safe to do that. That's another way to support local farmers and eat local food. I don't know if you have a garden. Do any of you have a garden?
Yeah.
The more food that we grow or purchase that's been grown locally, that helps too. There's a lot of ways we can all participate, and I'm glad that you guys are learning about them, because as you learn more about it, I hope you'll tell your friends and your family and spread the word.
Do you like to garden?
I do. I don't do it very much right now, but I like to grow tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes and green beans. I tried to grow strawberries. I know one of the other climate champions likes to grow strawberries. My squirrels and rabbits got to them first, so I never really got to enjoy my strawberries. But
What is your favorite color?
I love a lot of colors. I really love aqua, like light blue, like the color of a swimming pool, because it reminds me of summer. You like that color? That's such a pretty color. Well, what's your favorite color? Can I ask you guys?
My favorite color is blue and green.
Nice. What about you, Anna?
Pink, purple, and like blue and cyan.
Nice. What about you?
Gold.
Gold. What a cool color.
Who is your favorite superhero? Superhero?
If I tell you mine, will you tell me yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, Wonder Woman, hands down. Do you have a favorite?
Captain America.
Captain America's pretty cool.
I don't have one because I don't watch that much.
Oh, well, that's
I
good.
read a lot of books.
Reading is way better than watching TV. That's awesome. Do you have someone you read about in the comics?
I like reading
No,
books, 20-hour chapter books.
I
like
don't.
Jody Moody.
I read books to myself. I read books by myself too. I'm at the library.
I'm glad you used the library.
Are you shrinking your carbon footprint?
I'm trying. Yeah, we all can take steps to help make it so that we leave this place a little bit better than we found it. And one of the ways is to cut down on emissions, things, like our carbon footprint. I try to turn off the lights. That's something that everyone can do to shrink their carbon
Or
footprint.
shut off the water when you're not using it. That's really easy.
That's a really easy one and a great one.
Marcus, do you remember your next question? How was the volcano made?
How's a volcano made? Okay.
It's kind of made out of steam and... Marcus, if you're going to ask her a question, you should probably let her answer it. I want to answer.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you think, how it works, and I'll try to fill in if I can.
The rocks are made of steam. So when they're done making of steam, the lava vest comes.
There's something called the Ring of Fire on our planet, and you can kind of trace the mountains in a big circle all the way up in sort of North and South America and over to Japan and through Asia and down on Australia, and it's where these big pieces of the earth come together, and when they come together, they grind up against each other, and
Then it makes a volcano.
it can make a volcano. If they're grinding up a lot over time, it can create pressure, and the pressure mounts and mounts and mounts and that's how you got like Hawaii. That's a bunch of volcanoes, some that are active and some that are sleeping or dormant, and then the lava comes up from the center of the earth and the steam that you were talking about.
I have one that's not on my paper.
Oh, nice.
What type of car do you have?
An electric car. Yeah, it's really quiet, and I've never had to put gas in it.
What?
I know. When I first got it, I kept driving like by a gas station and thinking I've got to stop. And I'm like, no, I don't. I just have to plug it in. They're becoming more common. That's the thing. Car makers are now making all their plans about how to roll out electric fleet. They understand that more and more people want them, that it's a really important thing for their business to be successful, to be able to produce electric cars and have that be an option for more people.
How do you get more wind turbines and bigger solar farms?
That's a great question. Well, I think part of that equation is making sure that more people want them, increasing people's understanding of the value of renewable energy and having them be supportive of those kinds of projects, because wind turbines and solar farms they take up a lot of land. So people have to be, supportive of using the amount of land it takes to actually have those in place. And in the city, we have Lincoln Electric System that has been building more and more clean energy into their operations and as a source of power for our community. And they've supported the expansion of solar farms, so that's one way that we do it. When people come in and have a project that they want to present to the city or the county, when neighbors can be supportive, when the people who vote on those projects can be supportive, that's how we can achieve more solar farms and wind turbines. And then the other thing is just realizing that this is a growing part of our economy. This is where we're going to have more jobs and more opportunities and more innovation and businesses. So, we all have a role to play in kind of advancing the popularity and the success, and recognizing that this is kind of where the future lies, and we might want to, really be a part of that. And by having more opportunities in our community, we can be more competitive in our economy and create jobs that help take care of families. So I think if people understand the big picture, then that helps us be supportive too. All right, did you have a question you wanted me to answer? You want to point to it? Okay, how old am I?
How old are you? When were you born and how old are you? How old are you? Because I think you're 30.
Well, thank you.
You don't look a day over 30.
Well, thank you. I like this girl. Well, let's see. I'm 44 years older than you, so I'm 49.
Whoa. How are humans made?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How are humans made?
How are humans made?
And he's talking about like the cells in their body. They're actually made out of bones.
Oh, yeah.
And also skin.
Yeah, and actually mostly water, apparently, which I think is amazing. Just like the planet. And that's another way, kind of, we're like our own planet. And we have to take care of the ingredients that make up our bodies, and we have to take care of the ingredients that make up the planet, because our health and our safety depend on it.
Okay, bye-bye. Gotta go.
Thank you. It's fun to be with you.
Bye.